Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Pink Print Podcast. Today, we're sitting down to talk all things wedding. We're giving you your pink print to planning your future wedding.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm wearing my literal
Oh, is that why you're wearing white?
Yeah.
Oh my God, not even I'm wearing white.
I know, what the heck?
Well, everybody seems to be getting engaged every weekend.
Like every 35 seconds.
At least 3 people a weekend.
Like,
for sure.
Seriously.
My friend just proposed to his girlfriend yesterday. He told me beforehand and then he did it. And then
like, how loyal of him, because Ricky didn't even tell me before
he
proposing to you.
Before. Well, yeah, Ricky's just like, he's in stealth mode, bro. Like he I don't even know. I don't even think stealth means sneaky.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just like low key, you know, like Batman vibes.
Yeah. Like not your friend telling you, like, so random.
Well, we're like friends, but like,
no, yeah,
it was nice of him to tell me beforehand. I was like, okay,
yeah,
thanks for telling me.
Yeah. You're like, cool.
But there's so many things that I've realized as I've been planning a wedding, so many different topics, and obviously everybody, it's so different depending on like your family dynamics and like who's planning the wedding, who's paying for the wedding. Like so many things obviously go into play, so it's different for everybody. But this is just my take on things that you should keep in mind while you're planning. So the first thing is to discuss priorities. I'm just reading notes here, okay? Discuss the priorities with your partner. What does this mean? Do you want to get married in a church? Is that super important to you? Do you want to have a religious ceremony? Like, make sure that you are listening to each other. I think it's really easy for me as a woman to be like, I'm planning this. Like, I'm not, like, of course I care what you think, but I'm like, at the end of the day, what I say goes. And for him, like, it's okay. But at the same time, I want to hear him out. And it is important for him to get married in a church, at least in my case. So we're not going to incorporate that into our actual wedding, but maybe we'll do it like at the civil. So there's like ways to work around it, but like make sure you're like hearing your partner out and, you know, doing what's important to them too. So it's special for the both of you. Do you guys want to do a destination wedding? Do you want to do it in your hometown? Talk about it. You were saying yesterday, like, you would like to do a destination, but then you're like, wait, my grandparents might not be able to go. So it's like, then if that's really important to you,
yeah,
that's just not a possibility then.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Yeah.
So see that. Who's paying for the wedding? Figure it out. What's the budget for the wedding? I will say that as you start talking to people and wedding planners and venues, you're going to start to get a good idea. But just make sure like you know what you're working with and then try to like, you know, be within that range. But these are all very important conversations to have. Maybe not with your partner, but also like with your family. Or if you guys are paying for it, then yeah, talk to your partner and like decide what's.
I think we should talk about like the cost of wedding planners.
Okay, that was definitely on my thing.
Oh, okay.
But we can go there now. Wedding planners are really expensive.
Like, what is the average cost of a wedding planner?
So I'm doing a destination wedding, so I didn't actually ask anybody in the US. What I've heard in the US, is that what they charge $20,000 to $40,000?
That's what I heard.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
Crazy. I spoke to one lady that lives in France, and she charges minimum $80,000, but if not, like 18% of the total. Was it 18%?
Yeah.
Something like that. 18% of the total cost of the wedding. Or
your wedding
80,000
has to be like $1 million.
Literally, whichever one's higher. She literally said, whichever one's higher is the one I go with. And then I was like, holy shit. Like, these are obviously really expensive weddings this woman is doing. And that's crazy. And then I spoke to people in Mexico. We're not doing it in Mexico, but in Mexico, people charge in pesos. But if we were to convert it, like 13 to 15,000. So it's like a little less than the US. In Europe, I would say like about the same. I feel like everywhere is a little bit the same. I spoke to people in Brazil and they charge up to $20,000. Some people do the percentage, 18% of the total. I don't really like that.
That's a lot.
I don't like that because it's like, what if I want to get an expensive DJ? Like, what if that's where I want to invest my money in? And like, I want to add more things. And it's like, each thing I add, it adds to your cost.
Yeah.
I'd rather be a flat fee. You're doing the same amount of work.
Totally. Yeah. Like, what if you just pick like the craziest flowers or something like that? Then you just get to like bank off of it, lady. Like,
yeah. And also like the wedding planner. Like now I reached out to the venue. I made the contract with the venue and negotiated everything for where my wedding is going to be. And it's like a lot of work to like be constantly like following up with these like contracts and make sure they're getting back to you. Then they make changes because they made mistakes and whatever. But the whole point of the wedding planner, I think, is like, I mean, yes, to help you like with the mood board and decor, but at the end of the day, like, I mean, I guess everyone's different, but like, I already know like what I want. I already know, like, I already have inspo. I already know what color flowers I like. So like, yes, you're going to help with the aesthetics, but like really it's the logistics. Like that's what they're for.
Like the day of, so you don't have to think about anything.
Like my mom was like, wait, why do we need a wedding planner? I'm like, because the day of, we're not going to be checking if the DJ arrived on time. And if he's thirsty or hungry, he can eat something in the back before he starts. And like, if the lighting is all set up and like none of us are going to be doing that logistical stuff the day of, because we're going to be enjoying the whole weekend.
Yeah.
So I think like that's why it is important to have somebody run the show that day and to like be on top of everybody else. Like that's really what it is.
There's like so many different like vendors for this day. Like I just can't get over it. Like when did the people go set up the flowers? Who does the tablecloths? Who does the napkins?
Furniture. You have to get furniture sometimes, like lounge areas for people to sit down, like couches and stuff. Like it's not just like a restaurant where you sit down at a table.
Oh my God. And like the food and just like how do they all coordinate with each other?
Well, that's why the wedding planner needs to be like the ringleader of the show.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's not even, I'm saying this, like that sounds like basic. Like people do also like some crazy like tents in Mexico. They do like these, in Mexico I was like, oh my God, it's like whose tent is cooler than the other, because it's like they do all these super like architectural and cool designs, and in Mexico they take 4 months to deliver the project of your wedding.
Oh my God.
I mean, at least people I was talking to.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy. I'm like, this is like a house. This
Yeah.
is like a remodel project where they like literally give you a layout of the plan of where each table is going to be and the DJ and like the design. It's really cool. It's exciting. But I mean, I'm not doing any of that.
Yeah.
It could be a lot.
What if it rains?
You need to have a plan B. And a lot of people, when I went to Italy to see venues, a lot of the things was like the plan B sucks because the plan B is inside of the villa. And a lot of these villas, honestly, are like gross.
They're
like,
old as hell.
They're super old, but like, I don't mind the old, but like some are not well maintained. Others were better maintained. So like when you're in there, like you just feel a little crusty, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And like sometimes people sleep in these places.
Yeah, it's like creepy.
Honestly, it's giving spooky.
Like White Lotus.
Yeah, like I don't want to stay like in this old ass villa and be like creeped on by like the ghosts of like the Renaissance, bro. So like a lot of people don't like their plan B. Like you need a plan B, but you know what? I don't need a plan B. It's not gonna rain. I'm so confident. It's fine.
I'm like, not me asking, is your wedding outdoors?
Like the ceremony is gonna be outdoors.
What is it?
I don't even know yet.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I've seen like places where it could be in the place, but I don't know exactly where I want to do it.
Okay.
And then like the second part's gonna be like in the restaurant part, like in the terrace. So technically it is open. I think they're gonna make me do a tent. I don't know.
Like it's indoor, outdoor? Where are we dancing?
Right. Like that's like technically upstairs, like an open terrace. But I don't know if they make me do a tent over.
Oh, okay.
I don't like that.
How come?
I don't know. Maybe in case it rains.
Oh.
It's not gonna be a noise issue. Another thing about wedding planners that I have written down is don't rush to hire someone. And I think that this was like a note to self, because I was so excited. And I was so excited with like what I thought I wanted. And I hired someone in Italy. And I ended up not doing it in Italy. So now it's like awkward. Like,
have you messaged her?
What? I messaged her.
Was she mean?
No, she's like, you need to pay me my cancellation fee. And I was really hoping I didn't have to. So I'm seeing if I can work around that, because really like she didn't do any work.
She didn't do anything.
Like we did go there and like we did pay her part. So valid, like you got paid for like what you did. I don't think like we didn't do anything else. Like we didn't do any planning, no mood board, like nothing. Listen, we're correct people, but it's just like you didn't do anything. Yeah. So I'm trying to see if I can work
What's the cancellation fee? Like half or something?
So it's like,
that's crazy. So like,
bro. I know that you're excited and the emotions are there, because that's how I was. And my mom's a little more rational. She's like, can you slow your roll? And I'm like, I'm excited. Like I'm the more emotional one. But you know what? At the end of the day,
you're the one that's getting married.
I'm the one that's getting married. I am excited. And like for my mom, like I think we were talking to these mothers the other day that we ran into at lunch. And I think for the first time, my mom was like starting to get a little excited. I think now that she knows, like, we know what we're doing it. And even one of the moms was like, you know, it's a lot for a mom, especially like maybe like your first daughter getting married. So like, I understand. I think my mom was just like very overwhelmed.
Yeah.
By it.
She's sad, probably.
She's probably just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe it. So that's why she's probably like slowed down. But you know what? moms are pretty much always right. So if I was just a little slur, maybe we wouldn't have paid this lady. so like, don't rush, and make sure honestly that you're getting someone that like you vibe with.
Yeah.
Because some of these people too is like,
ugh, unlike the fucking lady at the dress store.
oh my God, we'll talk about her in a second. But literally I was talking to one of these wedding planners in Mexico, and like, he spoke for so long that if I knew that if my mom was on that call, she'd fucking,
she would have literally
throw a fit.
shut up.
She'd be like, all right, get to the point, like, let's go. Like, and this is the person you're gonna be like dealing with and talking to, so like, you need a vibe.
Yeah,
you need a vibe, and make sure that they understand who you are as a couple. A lot of them say like, oh, we're gonna do like your dream that like matches you, so it's like, make sure you find someone who like actually matches your vibe.
Yeah,
so they get it. No, this lady at the dress store was so bad.
She like was being so rushed, and like Gio at the beginning, this is an example. She's like, oh, I don't like mermaid, okay? Then Gio asked me which dresses I like, obviously, that's why I'm there. And I'm like, oh, like maybe this one could be pretty to try on. And Gio's like, yeah, of course, like doesn't care, like she'll do anything I say. And she said, yeah, like of course. The lady's like, well, that's mermaid and that's drop waist and she's not gonna like that. I'm like,
oh my God, woman, like literally
I didn't
relax.
know that you've known her for the past 10 years like I have. Like, she can try whatever the fuck she wants. We made an appointment here, so shut up.
Honestly, like, she could have made the whole experience like way more nicer. Like, you're buying
so rushed, so like, no, don't try that on.
And
like,
the place was nice. Like,
yeah.
I think the place was nice.
I think it's the nicest place in Miami to go.
Exactly. But then like, treat us like it. She offered us waters, but I was like, where's the champagne? Where's a little cafecito? Like,
yeah,
I don't drink, but like, just like that little,
like, yeah, but that's how it's supposed to be. Like,
exactly.
I don't get it.
And like, I was the only one wearing white, so I was like, haha, like, can you guess who the bride is? And she's like, you, because you told me your name is Gio. And I was like, oh my God, okay, girl. Like, so now Kathy's wearing white. So I'm gonna say like, guess who the bride is today?
So true, so true. And she was like in all black, by the way. Like, why are you like depressed?
Yeah, she was like rushing me in and out of those dresses. Like in the dressing room, she's like, I was like putting my hair up to like help her, because she was like helping me put the dress on, and she's like, put your arms on, and I was like,
oh my God, like maybe she made too many appointments that day, but like, lady, bad experience on for us. Like, sorry,
the thing is, like, we're such like vibey, and like we were enjoying like trying on the dress, and the dresses were actually nice.
Yeah,
and it's just like, all right, block her out, you know.
It's also like not a dress. Like, you can't just like put it on and be like, okay, that's enough. Like, you need to look at it for a little bit. There's like the back, the side, put it on the veil.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a 5-second like you put on a dress, you know.
Yeah, also like, this is like the dress you're wearing on your wedding day.
Yeah.
Like, let me make sure I fucking like it, like before I buy an expensive ass dress. Like, let's make sure. But anyways, there's like so many different things. And also another thing I've realized about weddings is like, really ultimately, like, fuck traditions. You can do whatever you want. If you want to follow the traditions,
What's a tradition? Like a wedding tradition?
Bridesmaids, like, you need to have all matching dresses. Sure, like traditionally in the US, you could do that. If you want to do that, by all means, do whatever you want, is my point. Or do people want to do like the same color but different style dresses? Or people do like a color scheme? Or in my case, I'm still thinking if I should do a color scheme or not. I think it looks nicer when everyone sort of like, at least it's like looks cohesive in a picture. So that's why I'm still like maybe thinking about it. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I just want you guys to feel comfortable and like not have to like go out of your way like, oh, this bitch is making me travel, and now she's making me buy a dress in this specific color, and this color looks bad on me.
Yeah.
You know? Or like, what other, like in Brazil at least, right? Well, we have different cultures mixed in here, but like in Brazil at least, the bridesmaids aren't the ones, and the groomsmen are not the ones who walk down the aisle. It's like the padrinos and the madrinas of the wedding. And
I think they do that too, though. Here,
they do.
Yeah.
I'm like, but who are the padrinos? Like the groomsmen and the bridesmaids? Like, it's whoever you choose.
Like, are you saying godfather and godmother?
So no, in Brazil, like, you choose basically like the godfather of like your wedding.
Oh.
Not your actual godfather and mother.
Okay.
So if like I'm like Riley and Kathy are like the madrina padrinos like of my wedding.
Of like your love.
Right. Like, you're a couple.
Yeah.
So it's like you guys walk down together, but it's not like my friends and like Ricky's groomsmen.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just different. So it's like,
it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Or then my grandma's like, have all the cousins walk down. I'm like, okay.
You're like, I don't want that.
I mean, that would be beautiful, but I'm just like, I don't know. So that's what I mean by traditional, or like, you know, are the bridesmaids going to be standing next to you? Are they going to be sitting down? Like all that stuff that like maybe tradition shows that they stand with you. Like if you don't want them standing with you, don't have them standing with you.
It's also like there's so many traditions, like number one in every culture, but also in every religion. Like if I got married in a Catholic church, like no one's standing up there with me. You know what I mean? Like it's me, the priest, and my husband.
Exactly.
Like, but they would walk down the aisle, I guess, but they just sit down.
Exactly. But that's why, like, also, like, what tradition? Like, we live in the U.S., but then, like, he's Mexican and I'm Brazilian. Am I trying to do more of that? And then Mexican tradition's a little different. So it's like, just do whatever you want, really. Like, don't do it just because you have to.
Yeah.
Which goes to my next big thing, creating your guest list. I think that people will be surprised that you actually have more people than you thought. I like literally don't have many friends, and somehow we came up with 200 people. We're like, what? Like, I mean that, like, I'm like, I have a small circle, you know?
No, I know.
And with plus ones, and then like when you see, you're like, whoa, like we can actually really grow this list.
Yeah.
It's nice. Like I would say, like, first, like, make the whole list, put everybody you can think of that you would want there. Not like I have to because she's a friend of a friend. Like everyone that you would actually want there, and like see what number you're at. And then obviously you need to see and match it with your budget and where you're doing it, and be like, because sometimes like some places, for example, can only hold 100 or 150 people. In Italy, I'm thinking. Obviously, like, you don't have to do it there. But depending on the venue, you already have a limit. And then you have to see, like, what your budget is, like, how much it is per person. Do you need to, like, cut it down? And then start, like, maybe making, like, tiers of lists. Like, who are the priority people? And then if those people don't RSVP, then you can start inviting the second tier of people.
But when do people RSVP? Am I okay? Do you have to give them a time to RSVP by to then know when you can start sending out the second wave of invitations?
That's a great question. I have no idea. I literally started making the guest list the day I got engaged.
I know.
I was like, I'm so excited. I could not sleep that night. And I was like, let's fucking go. And I started to make the list. And it's like fun. And then like we made a whole Excel, and we put like female, male, so we know like the ratio of the people. And then we gave like certain people plus ones. I got everybody's emails. So I made it like super organized. But I think another thing, like not everybody needs to get a plus one. So let's talk about plus ones. I don't think you're obligated to give everybody one. I don't want to give some of our single guy friends like just some random girl to come to my wedding. Like there's no need.
But what if someone has like a serious partner, but they're not married?
That's fine. That's totally fine. I mean, like Riley's not invited now. No, I'm kidding. But I think you need to like feel it out. Also, like for certain friends of mine who are like maybe not in like my immediate circle, meaning maybe they'll feel a little lonely because they like don't know everybody and they're single, then like maybe I'll give them a plus one because like you're going to travel all the way there. Like not to be alone. You're not going to be alone, but maybe like it'd be nice for you to have a plus one to have somebody else to mingle with. And like we have a friend like coming from Italy, like maybe we'll give him a plus one because he's coming all the way actually no, he's friends with all the fucking guys, so maybe we'll think about it.
But I'm saying, like, would you prioritize those people over people in relationships?
No, I would prioritize relationships first.
Like that makes more sense.
Relationships, it's like I can't imagine like Ricky being invited and not me.
Yeah.
Or like me being invited and not being able to take Ricky. Obviously now we're engaged, but like even if we were just like dating, like you want to go with your long-term partner.
Yeah.
So I totally all of the people who have girlfriends, they're invited. And I'm thinking more like the single people. Like, do you need to give them plus ones?
No, like
all of my close friends, the bridesmaids, the groomsmen, like they can take one. It's fine. I'm just thinking like a random guy friend, like bringing some random girl.
Totally.
I don't want to meet someone really for the first time at my wedding.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little hard because maybe like people live in like different states and stuff. Like Ricky actually has some close friends that like I genuinely like don't know their girlfriends because they live like somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like fine, the exception. But I don't want to be like, hi, nice to meet you. Like, I know you're just fucking this guy and now you're coming to my wedding.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like there's no need. Also, like it's way too expensive to like just be like having random peeps there.
For sure.
Next thing, which is like super important with guest list, and my mom is super, you know, like about this, you have no obligations. And like I really believe
so
that.
like hard though,
but I really believe that you should,
because like I've been on like the other end of that, you know what I mean?
What other end?
Like my boyfriend not being invited to like weddings that I've been invited to.
No.
And I'm like, that's so annoying.
Like your boyfriend wasn't invited to a wedding? No, that's just fucked up. Like he should be invited because you guys also have been together for 4 years.
Yeah.
So like unless it's like someone that you're not really friends with who's inviting you and it's like very distant,
yeah,
maybe. But if it's like someone that you actually know, like they should invite your boyfriend.
Yeah. So what do you mean by no obligations? Like family
I
members?
have to invite this
Are
person.
you not going to invite family members?
No, I'm inviting all my family members. Obligations, I mean, like, I have to invite your aunt and uncle because, like, I'm indebted to them. Like, no, like
no, me and my aunt have thought about this literally 500
Or,
times.
like,
She's
I
like, you
have
have to invite your great aunt from Cuba. But
Like-
I'm like,
like,
well,
no,
I
you
don't fucking talk to that lady. Like, why the fuck would she be invited?
right, or like I have to invite like my mom. I think this is more like the parents imposing.
It's always the she's like, well, that lady took care of me. I'm like, well, she took care of you, not me.
Exactly.
So I don't give a
Also,
flying
like,
fuck.
if you really think about it, it's like she took care of you. That's amazing. That's great. Now she needs to come to my party.
Like what?
If you think about it, like this
Yeah.
is just like a party. Like really,
Yeah.
it's a wedding. It's like, why do you want to come to my wedding? Like,
Yeah.
how does that show like a token of gratitude, bro?
And she's like, well, she loves you. I'm like, okay,
She can still love me.
Yeah,
Like-
does it? Yeah, crazy.
I think this comes more from the parents putting pressure, and I think that a lot of parents think the weddings are like for their friends.
Yeah.
A lot of parents do the weddings
especially
for them.
like I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like my dad's gonna be paying for my wedding, so like if he's like, oh, I want to bring a friend, I can't be like, no. He's like, well, I'm paying for your fucking wedding, so I can bring whoever I want, you know?
I think he needs to like, okay, he's paying for the wedding. Also a little different.
well, I'm saying, yeah, but I'm saying
like he's the one. If
Yeah.
you're not paying, also maybe
okay.
don't impose.
I'm saying, yeah, like if your mom were to say like, I'm bringing
absolutely.
blah,
I'd be
blah,
like,
blah.
if you're paying for it, like bring whoever you want.
Yeah.
I think also like she's very reasonable, and I'm sure your dad's not gonna invite 100 of his friends.
he doesn't
you know?
have, they're like all dead. just kidding.
So like everything with reason, but I think a lot of
Luigi. My dad has a friend named Luigi. We just like die that his name is Luigi. He's so nice and cute and small.
oh my god. I just think that parents then like take it to the next level. They make it more about them and like
Yeah.
make it more expensive and nice, like to impress their friends. But if you
Yeah.
think about it, really, it's like about the kid. But also like then if your parents are paying for it and like you're okay with it, it's fine. That's why you need to like feel out the family dynamics here
Yeah.
and like who's doing what. But I really hate hearing like I have to invite this person because I have a commitment, like
Yeah.
like I have an obligation to them.
Yeah.
I think that's very weird. I don't think you have any obligation to anyone. I think that like if you did something nice for someone or they did something nice for you, that's amazing. We've talked about this. Like,
You can't expect it in return.
right, like you've done sharing things and you guys are friends and that's amazing. And like if you want to invite them because you want them to be there, because you really care about this person, you care about the relationship, you love them and you love their company and beautiful, you want them to participate in this amazing moment. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Another is when like I have to invite them because they did this and it's now my obligation to invite them. No. That's
Yeah.
it's a different intention.
Well, it just goes back to like doing something out of fear versus love.
Right. Like why are you it's just like for like why do you need to invite them then?
Yeah.
I don't think you need to. And I think that like just pick very wisely who you want there. I think also again, weddings, it's like so much work and I'm enjoying the process, but like literally like we were talking about this other girl this weekend, like it's a 4-hour party or a 7-hour party. Hers is 4 hours. That's so short.
Yeah.
To be surrounded by a bunch of people that you were obligated to invite,
No.
it really doesn't make sense.
No, I know.
And then like you're paying for this whole thing and like if you really don't mind and big and better, amazing. That's why it's like just see what you want and just like be aware of that.
What about like kids, inviting kids?
No.
Like no kids.
Dude, you have to pay a full plate for these little kids.
I mean,
to eat like
your cousins are little, some of them.
okay, that's family.
Yeah.
And that's different.
Yeah.
Because like that's family. But like somebody else's kid, no kid wedding.
Yeah.
Maybe if I was older, also we're like young. There's really
Yeah.
no need to bring kids. Like if we were like in our 30s or 40s or maybe like more people had kids, it's different. But I mean, they're probably gonna end up leaving the party anyways early. And I would probably like, they would be like playing on the corner and probably not doing much. I just think like there's no need to like invite kids.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a destination wedding. Like why would you want to bring your kid?
I mean,
Or maybe bring your
I mean, I think they like have to. Like, what are they gonna do? Leave their kid? Like, they're not the Kardashians.
you know what? Okay, so you have to be the Kardashians to travel without your kids.
I don't know. Like, you need a lot of help at home.
No, I agree. I just think that right now I didn't even really think about that just because like none of our friends have kids.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if like family members of yours.
I know family members. I can't be like, sorry, you're too little of a cousin. You're not invited. So stay away from these obligations. If you have a destination wedding too, make a tier 2 list because a lot of people will end up probably like dropping out and not coming. And you know what? Destination's even better because like if you don't want to come, don't fucking come. I would rather have 100 people who really want to be there and go out of their way rather than like
200.
yeah, like I just don't need that many people.
That's the thing about like doing this in Miami. It's like you obviously we were born and raised here, so we know a billion people here. So you feel obligated to probably invite, well, you're saying not obligated, but like whatever, you can invite more people because it'll be easier for them to get there.
Even if I was doing it in Miami, my list would not change.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal.
Yeah.
But anyway, what my point is like,
my grandparents.
are your grandparents that live here gonna go to Uruguay?
I mean, they go to Brazil.
Oh, they do still?
They still do.
Oh, wow.
Which is like an 8-hour flight. So you can manage to do 9.
You can do 9. Plus a 2-hour drive.
Plus a 2-hour drive. You're going to buttfuck of South America. Yeah, like they are.
Yeah.
And
but
I know
they can travel. Like
but they
have.
can travel.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm blessed enough that they can still travel. So obviously, like, I don't even think like
I
can't do a destination. But that's something, for you to definitely think about.
Yeah, we'll get engaged first. No rush.
No rush.
And then like, oh my God. Speaking of obligations, and I'm like, I literally hope Miss Stevens, you're listening because we talked about this. Like Riley's dad has 9 siblings. Like, and they have kids and those kids have kids. Like that's so many people.
But you know what? It balances out because your family is like relatively not that big.
No, it's not.
It's
Yeah.
Like you
but
have
I'm saying like, but this is my point. Like if let's say Ricky had 9 aunts and uncles on one side of his family, like maybe some that you've never even like met. Like,
here's
are
my
you
thing,
inviting
though.
them?
I think like you can invite, but like they're not all coming. They're not all gonna come.
Depends where it is.
Okay, if it's Miami, maybe they'll come.
No, if it's like Cape Cod, they're gonna go. They live there.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I think you can. That's why I think you need to put everybody on the list.
Yeah.
You need to make your list with everybody and see what number you're at. Like, really, are you at 500 already? Like with your friends and with the family, or are you at like 200, 250? And you're like, you know what, this is still doable, and I can invite them. That's why I just like put everybody and then analyze.
Yeah.
And then you can also be like, oh, how many of these people are single or like would need a +1?
He's honestly the problem, not me. Like I'm like, I already know. I like in my head already know like what whole families that I want to invite, like of my friends and things like that. He's like, well, we have to invite blah blah blah. I'm like, what? Like he'll say some people, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, no, that's why you guys need to talk about it. Like you don't have to invite anybody unless it's special to him. That's why I asked you the other day. I'm like, did you like say like I get 100 people, Ricky gets 100 people? Because Riley was like, give me 100 people, you get 100 people, and like that's the amount of people I'll use up. And I was like, I don't know if we're gonna do it like that or not. Also, we're not getting married right
I mean, we didn't do that just because like I don't even know if I have 100 people on my side because also a lot of our friends are just like mixed.
The same,
like,
I know, same.
His guy friends and like their girlfriends I consider my friends.
Ours are too, of course.
So it's like I don't have anybody else more than like who we would have together.
I guess because we have 2 different like states involved.
Totally.
It's like,
But that's why I honestly think like making your big list is like the first step. And then really if you're at 500 and like your max is at 200, then be like, listen, you need to pick your 100. Yeah. Maybe that's like a good way to go about it.
Yeah.
But like, why pick 100 if like you already have 200 in total? Do you know what I mean? Like if you don't even know like where you're starting, then go from there.
Yeah.
Another thing, venue. I think it's the most important thing. Sorry, I know I'm like segueing into the next one. No. But venue I think is the most important thing. And once you find the venue, everything else flows. Finally, now that I finally fucking found my venue, I'm like, let's go.
Wait, I need you to talk about like the late night charge. People don't get it.
No. You guys
I've
like,
never heard this in my life.
I honestly think wedding planning is like, it's scams.
It's a
scam. You're like in love and you're getting married and they're like, we're going to scam your emotional ass right now.
Oh, you're in love? That'll be $300K.
Like every single extra hour is like, well, every place is different, but like more or less a percentage of your total spend at that place. Like your food and your beverage and the open bar. The thing is like, I didn't even think about like, I'm like, food and drinks, yeah. And they're like, no, but like, what kind of drinks? Because depending on the kind of drinks, we're going to charge you more or less. You want whiskey? You want rum? You want vodka? You want tequila? And I'm like, what? Like, I'm not a party planner. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, different kinds of alcohol. Like, everything is like a different cost. And you need to think about alcohol.
And
wines.
Is there like tiers of wine?
Yes, there's tiers of wines. There's like tiers of like alcohol that could be available. There's obviously tiers of food.
Honestly, like, thank God my dad is in that industry.
Yeah, honestly, if you do it in Miami, like, he'll be plugged up.
Not that, but I'm saying like he'll just like know, because I'll be like, I don't know what fucking wine there should be, like, you know what I mean?
I honestly chose like the most basic wine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tier, because like I mean, I think that also like the people going to our wedding are very much our age, and there's not going to be as much older people. So like no one that like is like because my aunt, she was telling me like in São Paulo in Brazil, like like we mentioned earlier, the parents sort of do it like for their friends. So like they get the most expensive
It's like
wine
farniente for
to
everyone.
like impress their friends. Like, you think we really give a shit? Like,
No.
we're fucking 25, 26. Like, we haven't grown our palate that much for the wine. Like, maybe us in 20
Gio
years.
got Franzia.
I don't even know what that is.
Like the box. The bag.
But, oh my God. But,
Slap the bag.
I think that like we don't really care, like as long as it's good and then you have good cocktails. And then my aunt was like, and at the end of the day, like then people pay the most expensive wine, and then
No one
the
drinks
people
it.
who will enjoy it are the older people who like leave so early,
Yeah.
and then don't even stay the rest of the party. So it's like,
Is it based off of consumption, or do you like purchase a certain amount?
it's not based on consumption. I think that some people purchase a certain amount. I'm just doing like a fixed amount per person, and it's open bar, and it's sort of just like open, I guess. And then every single hour after, you need to pay like 15% of the total of whatever you're spending, although you can negotiate less because like less people will be towards the end of the party. So it's like if we start with 200, by 2-3 a.m. it'll be 100 because all the older people, the kids and everybody would have left.
Something cool you
But it's,
could
like,
do,
crazy.
which like literally every wedding I've been to does this, but I just think it's like cool. Like they have like a cigar roller or something, someone there.
That's cute.
Like the guys like it.
Yeah.
Like literally the three.
I'm like, we'll think about it.
Okay.
No, I know. Then I haven't even thought about that.
Like for late night, he's just like outside.
Ricky's like, I want a saxophone player. I'm like,
Oh, I love that. My best
To be, like, playing with the DJ?
She's always says that. She's like, I need a saxophone to set my wedding.
I know. And then you're like, the logistics of getting a good saxophone player to these countries. It's like, okay.
There has to be like local saxophone.
Oh yeah, local saxophone player. Yeah. Oh my God. Then you have to like coordinate the DJs and stuff. Like whatever.
How do you find a DJ?
I mean, I had one in mind that I already wanted to use, and she's booked that weekend. So I don't know. So you're
Does
like,
she have friends?
I know. I was gonna ask. She honestly was gonna see if she can like speak to her client that weekend. Like I don't know. Like who plans a party like 6
Is it
months in
Marina?
advance? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So she was gonna see and let me know. But I mean, I get it if she can't like change her like commitment
Like,
to
literally,
somebody
like, her
else's
job, yeah.
party. And if not, I was
Just
gonna
get kind
ask
of
her-
music. Or black coffee.
Oh yeah, easy, dude. Some people.
Or Flume.
Oh yeah, some people have disclosure in Mexico, and it looks sick.
That would be.
But then you have to fly these fuckers out, bro, and you have to pay for their stay.
Yeah, no.
And pay for them for the night. Like this is like weddings are crazy.
Like a thief in the night.
But I think that music and lighting is the most important thing.
Yeah.
I think
Music
that
is so important. It's
if you ask me
disgusting.
the most important things, obviously the venue is like one of the most important because it's like the location, the
Yeah.
vibes. After that, have an open bar.
Like,
people are gonna drink.
I don't know about-
Good music and lighting. I want disco lights.
Like,
we're at a club.
I just don't even know if the venue matters that much sometimes.
You know what?
Sometimes. Like a beautiful venue is obviously breathtaking.
Yeah.
But like I've had more fun
At
at
a
like
chiller.
chiller weddings than like the really extravagant ones. Like literally because the music and like the I don't know
The vibes are
people
just
and the
better.
vibes like
I agree.
I don't know.
I get that.
No, but also like
You
a
also,
gorgeous
like-
venue is a gorgeous venue and you get such beautiful photos and like
Like you don't want to do it at like a
I
nice
just mean,
venue and
like-
have like a shitty party.
yeah, like I just mean at the end of the day, like you just want to like have fun with your friends. Like that's what you're gonna remember.
Absolutely. I think the most important thing in my like tagline for this whole thing, I
Tagline.
tell every single wedding planner, I'm like, what's important to me is like the food is gonna be good.
Who
great.
the fuck cares about the food?
No,
honestly.
I mean, people are gonna be like, oh, beautiful dessert table. No one eats one fucking bite. Number one,
and then
people,
it's like, oh, nice mashed potato, like tastes like every other mashed potato.
exactly. Even my aunt was like, yeah, people want the food, but like, no one's going there to eat dinner. Like, no
No.
one's going for the food.
The
like,
culinary experience.
yeah, like they're going to celebrate you and honestly, like to have fun. Like that's why you're
Yeah.
going. So I was
have
like,
good bread in the beginning. That's it.
I just want it to be a memorable experience. So people are like, wow, that weekend, that time, that wedding was just spectacular. No one's gonna be like, the steak was a little undercooked.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna remember. Like, yeah, the food was fine, it was good, but you know what? The party was lit. Like
Yeah.
that's what people are gonna remember. It's the
Yeah.
experience. So
Yeah.
that's like my like motto throughout all of this. And so that's why, yeah, music, lighting. I think the rest is like the best. That's the best, like the most important. Good food, and the rest will fall into place.
It's just like making me really sad that like so many venues that I like, I've realized like
Or more simple.
no, are that like it's over so early.
Oh yeah, I know. That's another. That's the thing.
Like
Then
I
you have
don't
to
want it
extend
to be over early.
I know. Also, like, especially coming from the Latin culture, like, I literally want to party till the sun's up, and I'm like, that's gonna be a shit ton more. Yeah. So we're gonna have to see how we can work this out.
I think 4 a.m. is like fine, but like midnight is so early.
No, I wanted to see the sunrise come up. This is my idea, but like, I don't know if we're gonna make that happen.
But like, we can still watch the sunrise. We just have to like not be like on the dance floor, but we can still be. We're all gonna be at the same hotel.
Yeah.
Can we just go to the beach together?
The beach is like not close to the hotel.
Oh, I thought it was like on the beach.
No.
Okay, never mind.
It's like interior.
Okay.
There's a river.
We can jump in the river.
We can jump in the green brown river.
We're all gonna hang out in like someone's hotel room. I can guarantee it now.
The size of this room.
Well, there's not gonna be that many people left at 4
No. We can literally hang out like wherever.
Yeah.
At that point.
Like
Let's get into the next, because we have like so many topics, you guys. We're not done. Okay. Bachelor fucking-ettes. We gotta
Bachelor fucking nets.
We need to talk about this.
There's no end in Bachelorette.
This is a very expensive thing. All right. This is not expensive. This is a very important topic to talk about.
And expensive.
Okay. So this is I was like, I want to do something cute for the bridesmaids gift. Let's talk about bridesmaids gifts.
Like $1,000 each.
Literally, exactly. First of all, it's like, oh my God, everything is an expense. Yeah. When it comes to the wedding, everything, you're like, oh, I want to just gift a little gift goes like a long way.
Yeah.
Of expenses. And I thought my gift was really cute because I wanted to do something different. It was perfect. Some people do like the cute matching PJs or like little Sephora haul, which is so cute. Don't get me wrong. I thought about that. But then I did something a little different, and I got everybody a little coffee table book.
Which is so perfect.
Of the city of where we're doing it in. And there's like pictures.
And by the way, like people, so it's a very niche place. So people can actually like look through the book and see like, what am I getting myself into?
It's a very niche place. And also I know that nobody has this coffee table book. Yeah. So I was like, it's a cute little thing.
It took us forever to find 5 of them.
Literally, we were like, I need 5. Only 5. Like, that's the amount of bridesmaids. I need 5. And they were like, we don't have 5 of this one.
We have 1.
And I was like, great. So no one buys this book. Yeah. Clearly, that's like how remote this place is. And then I got them a wine from a restaurant, which I really like from there, that they also happen to have here. So I was like, here's a little taste of what you're going for. So I thought that was really fun, but do something that I think is authentic to you. Don't think like, like a little olive oil bottle, a little dulce leche bottle, like something that like represents your culture, maybe where you're doing it. Like, I think that's really cute. You can have fun with it. Like, that's what I wanted to do. Get creative with it. Do something authentic to you and do whatever you want. It doesn't have to be big at all. The gift. It's just a little detalle. Now let's talk about planning the bachelorette trip.
Oh my God, if you have like 10 bridesmaids, that's
no, it's so much. Because even if you're, that's like you.
Like, I don't know. We'll see.
Planning the trip. I think that this is like honestly the most difficult, but I think the most important thing here is communication. I think this is the most important thing.
I obviously agree.
Because I think that you need to be very clear with like, I don't want to give people too many options, but like, this is a weekend that works. Does this work for everybody? Yes or no?
To be honest, like, I think you like can't give people options.
I've heard like different, like, Ricky's sister.
Maybe like you could give like maybe a few weekends, but number one, you had your weekend in mind and there's honestly not another weekend.
I mean, I already picked that weekend sort of like already knowing everybody's schedules because I only have 5 friends. So it's not like that hard to like think of like, I know what people are doing. Like I know that someone's starting a job in California. Someone else is doing something else in Europe. So it's like, I already know more or less what people are going to be. And I know that if I do it this year, like this semester, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So then I was like, all right, the only time that works really is January. We have a long weekend. I think that would work. Gives enough people time to plan, to pay, whatever, So in that sense, I didn't really give that many options. If it was like a year away, then like maybe you can
that's different.
Plan a little more.
Yeah.
But I think that the most important is like, you need to just like put it out there and communicate. Guys, I'm thinking this weekend. Does this work? I'm thinking of this place. Does it work? Because I think the worst thing in a bachelorette is like people not knowing and then being caught off guard. And then they end up like resenting you and getting mad at you. Which is really, I think, what happens. And I think it's nice, at least I've heard, that if you can like more or less already give people an idea of how much it's going to cost, so that not like for people to be like, oh, it's too expensive or not, but so people can plan. So it's like, what restaurants do we think we're going to, like what events, like are we gonna like take out a bow, or are we gonna like go to a club, or are we gonna go to table, I don't know, whatever it is you're trying to plan, like more or less how much the activities and everything's gonna be. So people are like, oh, okay, and I know that I have a bachelorette in January, I know I'm gonna need about like whatever amount of money, and I can just plan. Like Ricky's sister has been to so many, so she was like giving me like all of her feedback, like attending them. And she was like, I'm not like complaining about the price, I just like would like to know, so I know like how much I need to plan for that weekend. Which I totally get. another thing is like, I don't think, after speaking to her, maybe her friends are more Latin, but like, I don't think it's a thing where people invite the bride.
That's not a thing. I'm also Latin. That is not a thing, though.
It's not a thing. I don't know if it's a thing in America, but it's not tradition or common to invite the bride to the whole trip. So I don't expect anybody to invite me to the whole trip.
Like, in fact, I think Latin culture, like, it's the opposite. You like invite your friends to some things.
You could. You want to be nice. You're like
you can pay for the housing.
Right.
Like sometimes the groom will pay for one dinner.
Oh, that's nice. Like Ricky, let's get to it.
That's happened before. Like,
I think that
like the dinner and like a table, or like, I don't know.
Like again, like whatever you want to do it the way that works for you. But I think you need to be clear. Like if you're planning on inviting the bride, you need to get everybody on board. You need to get everybody on board,
like,
because
beforehand.
The thing is,
many months before.
Like people are already paying to go on this trip, and of course, like they want to go and it's going to be fun. But again, like if they want to know how much you're spending on that trip, they're going to want to know if they're going to invite the bride or not, and like let people like participate in it. If not, it feels like you're put in a corner and like you have a gun to your, like, you need to pay, you know. You're like, fuck, like I have no option. Like, I think that's when like then the situation gets a little sticky.
And talking about money with like your best friends is already weird. Like you don't want like
like everyone's like in different situations, and you don't want to be like, all right, can you pay, you can't pay, but like that's why it's just like communicate, like, guys, does this work for you? We want to invite her. So I don't think you need to invite the bride to the whole thing. Now, if you decide to invite her to like a yoga class, or you invite her to a dinner, or like a joint gift that you and the bridesmaids talk about, beautiful. But then let you and the other bridesmaids talk about it. Agree that you're then going to gift the bride something. And then it's like a little detalle. But then everybody's on board and they know what they're like going in for. Like nobody wants to come out of it and being like, I didn't plan this. And I think then at least you're being like respectful of everybody's like financial situation, and just like being considerate. It can't be like last minute things. So I don't think that it's necessary to pay for the bride. I don't think it's necessary to, I also don't think it's necessary sometimes for the bride to pay the place. A lot of the brides split. Just whatever it is, communicate it and make sure that everybody's on board and they approve. They get a little salty, and like nobody wants to be salty. Like we want to be celebrating. You know?
Exactly.
Next thing, wedding gifts.
What do you want? Money.
Here's the thing. I thought asking for money was weird. I did. That's my true opinion. I know that a lot of people do it. God bless your soul. I know that
sneezing on the truth.
I think that a lot of people do it, so now it's more normalized. But I was like, asking for money, that seems like very like, I want money, you know? But then like I was like, but I already live with him. I have everything for a house. I really don't need more plates and shit. I like maybe when we move to a bigger house, it'd be nice to have more things, but like I'm not moving to a bigger house anytime soon. And so like, what the fuck am I gonna do with more pans and plates and shit? And then I was like, I guess like it would be nice then if we just like had the money and we can use it towards our honeymoon or towards like whatever, something else that then we decide to do that makes sense for us. So I think a honeymoon fund makes sense, which is what we're probably gonna do. Also because like, again, like, oh my God, a honeymoon expense now?
It's crazy.
So much stuff. So it's
and
like,
you're not going to do your honeymoon right after your wedding.
I really wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't know yet if I'm going to do it. Right now I'm like so focused on like just like planning the weekend of the wedding that I haven't thought about what after. Ricky really doesn't want to go back to work after.
Oh.
He's like, I don't want to go back to work right after. That's weird. And I'm like, but you're going to be gone for a whole week. Like, like you're already going to be like disconnected, like in wedding mode. We have to figure that out. I would like to. Nowadays a lot of people don't do it right after.
They don't.
Also because most people, not most, a lot of people we know do like trips that are far away. So maybe it doesn't like work out the season in which you're doing it in if it's right after your wedding, so they need to like wait a couple months. I think it's nice to like have something to look forward to, although I think it's exciting to go like right after too.
I think so too.
So we're still figuring that out. That was all about fun stuff. Let's talk about another fun thing, which is prenups. Not the most romantic topic, but I do think it's an important topic. And I think that everybody should get a prenup.
Explain.
I think that...
Tell us what a prenup is for those that don't know.
It's just basically a document.
Because my boyfriend literally asked me the other day what it was.
I'm not an attorney, and this is like not legal advice, so please seek legal advice. This is just like what I've researched, and I'm going to speak to an attorney and whatever, like do all this together. But basically like it's a document where you like write down the rules of like your marriage. Let's say some people take it really extreme. I'm not trying to make it extreme. I'm just trying to like make it simple, but really it's like you disclose everything you have. Like, do you own assets? whatever, if like you own a house, you already own an investment property or whatever it is, like, and if you don't, it's fine. It's also here to like protect your family's things. Basically, like you just say like, everything I had before is mine. If we get divorced, it's not yours. You can also say like anything in the future that if I were to inherit, let's say, like I'm just giving examples. Everyone's prenup is literally so different, but like if you were to inherit something in the future, you already protect that, like that is yours and it's not going to be diluted and divided if you were to get divorced. Because imagine your family works so hard to build something and then they want to give it to their children and then their children get married and then they divorce and then like the husband takes a half or like your wife takes the half. I don't think that's fully fair for like your family who's like saving and doing all this hard work for you. So really it's like protect your family business, your family inheritance if you have. It's just another thing, you can separate your debt. If your husband or your wife has previous debt, I don't know, student loan debts, credit card debt, whatever debt, you can say, because when you get married and you start filing together, I'm pretty sure you're responsible for that debt.
I mean, it's
if you're filing together and you're together, like now you would also be responsible. So it's like, oh, why should I be responsible for like what you incurred before we got married? And also everyone's getting married at different ages. So like you don't know like what this person has. So you can say like any debt that you have is yours. Like let's make sure that that's separate. So you just like go, I guess like through all these different categories and like I'm going to go through it and guess like I see all these things, but like just make sure like you separate it. I think that that's fair. Like I don't think anyone like, why do I need to be cleaning up after your shit? You don't need to be cleaning up after my shit. I don't want what you had before. I don't know why you would want what I had before. Yeah. Like, let's just make this like clean and easy. Like some people, I'm not going to do this, but like some people also put like who pays for what in the marriage. Some people are like really crazy with their prenups, but I'm not going to do it like that. I'm just trying to make sure like I'm protecting what I have. He protects what he has. And that's all. Like, well, then whatever we do together, like that's different, you know? But I think it's important. And I think that you start to have this mature conversation with your partner and you start to see like where you stand, and you can also talk about like finances and like sort of like what your goals are and like just be open with the person. I think like in a prenup anyways, like you have to disclose everything you have. So it's like you're getting married to this person. Like now you're opening the books and you can really have this convo with them.
So now when you get married, like, and you're making money from your job and Ricky's making money from his job, like, are you putting that into your like joint account or are you still keeping it separate?
I think I personally will keep it separate. Maybe we'll have one joint, like for maybe joint expenses and stuff. But I think right now, at least, it's like you make your money, you do whatever you want with it. I'm going to make my money, I do what I want with it. And then we'll have joint for like our expenses. And then like, sure, we have like our joint like financial goals. So maybe we can put aside for like if we wanted to like buy a house or something. But I don't think we're going to join everything. Us right now.
So like,
I think this convo can obviously change and shift depending on like, you know.
But like, okay, well, let's say like in 6 months, you're going to get married, whatever. Are you still going to like go to the grocery store and he's going to Venmo you for the groceries?
No, I think then we'll have like a joint credit card that will like both equally like pay off.
Got it. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
For that type of stuff.
Yeah, for like household expenses, like groceries, FPL, utilities, like whatever things like that. And then like maybe if we go on a trip, like maybe we'll put it on the joint credit card and like we'll evenly pay it as well.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know, I personally don't want to like just mix everything.
Yeah, no,
now.
I don't know if that would make sense. That's why I'm just confused. But that makes sense, the credit card, because then you just pay it from your money. He pays from his, whatever.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's an important conversation to have. And I think some people also get offended when you're like, why a prenup? And I don't think it's something to be offended about.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why are you offended? Like, it really has nothing to do with you. Like, I just want to make sure everything's good. And if you love me and you're in it for the right reasons, like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
You know, I think that like it's weirder if someone's like, I don't want to sign one.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, because you don't trust me, and it's like, well, we're not gonna get divorced, and it's like, yeah, the goal is not to, but you know what, unfortunately like 70% of people get divorced, and like that's not why we're getting married. It's just a reality though. Yeah. And it's like, I'd rather be safe than sorry. And I say this all the time, the person you marry is not the same person as you divorced, because then you're hurt and then you're like going through a bad moment, and it's just like, why not have all your ducks in a row, have everything organized, and just like upfront, like we're getting married, we want to be together, we're gonna make the best out of it, but like, let's just be clear here.
Yeah.
And for whoever wants to have the prenup, the other person I think should also hire an attorney, make sure that you feel comfortable with it, review it. I know I would. If he was making me sign one, I would hire someone just to like review it, make sure it's like legit and like legally binding.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I think it's an important combo though. I don't think people should be like scared, you know, to do it. To almost like wrap this up, I'm going to tell you my takeaways.
Put a bow on it.
I'm going to put a bow on it. Okay. Enjoy the process, you guys. It's easy to get caught into like little details. Like, oh my God, the welcome gift when people arrive. Like, honestly, when people start going to so many weddings, it's going to be like one more fucking gift and like one more thing. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just broke
it's
all
like
my
one
nails
more
off.
little thing. So it's like, don't get caught on the details. Like, enjoy the process.
Wait, we're going to get a welcome gift?
I mean, you're going, I think, on a destination wedding, like a little detalle.
Cute.
Like waiting in your room or something.
That's so cute.
Yeah, there's lots of there's so many details. But
No, I've never been to a wedding with a welcome gift.
yeah, so like don't like get too caught up in it. And like, I just think enjoy the process, enjoy the day, enjoy the weekend, be with your partner. I haven't gotten to this part yet, but like that's my goal, and do what you want to do. Don't be influenced by what other people want to do. Not everyone's going to be satisfied. People are going to be like, don't do it here, do it here. Don't do this, do that. I don't like this DJ. Everyone has something to say. So it's like, figure out what you want to do, meditate. It took me a long time to figure out where I wanted to do it, what sounded true to me. And I had so many conversations with God and the universe, and I was like, what sounds true? And then I was with Ricky one day and I was like, you know what? This feels right. You know what? And let's do what feels right to us. Don't let anybody influence you. Invite who you want to invite and have a good fucking time. Because
so excited.
Because
like,
that's it. You know?
I'm gonna cry so much. What am I gonna do?
Oh my God, you're not gonna cry.
I'm gonna cry so much.
Oh my God.
Like, how am I gonna even have my hair and makeup on?
I don't know. I want Ricky to cry. That's all I want.
Did you find a makeup artist?
No, not yet.
I'm like, this is so irrelevant. Okay. Wait, but they can do my makeup, right?
Yes.
Okay. As MOH, whatever. I'm MOH. I like to say it. It's a cool title.
Sometimes I'm like, hey, I have a question, MOH. Like, I have like MOH question.
Yeah. Bridal shower planning next. Stay tuned.
Oh my God.
So we can segue this because this is just like a funny story and it leads into the homework. So on Sunday, I had like a few showings on Biscayne, whatever. If you live in Miami, it's relevant, but I guess it's not if you don't, but whatever. So we're on Biscayne, I'm in Edgewater, and then Gio and Ricky had gone to El Bagel that morning in Coconut Grove. And after my showings, I was like, right, let's go to El Bagel. I was like, we were both so hungry, and there's one on Biscayne. So we go to El Bagel, we're eating, and Gio's like, oh, me and Ricky are in Design District if you want to pass by, which is right next to El Bagel. So I'm like, yeah, of course, like we'll pass by. And on the phone to me, she was like, we're wedding band shopping, but Riley didn't hear that. I was like, oh my God, yes. Like I want to see what you guys pick, whatever.
I was so not trying to ambush you guys. No. I was just like, this is fun. We're going to go to a few stores and we're going to go like,
and it's like rare that they're in our hood. So we go to Design District. We like meet them at a few stores. We're like trying on shoes, blah, blah, blah. So then Gio's like, okay, we're going to go to Tiffany. And I'm like, and Riley's like, why are we going to Tiffany? Also, he was so hungover. It was his birthday the day before.
Yeah.
Like, poor guy.
Poor guy.
He was being
dragged
so
into it.
funny.
I literally was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I did not drag you into this.
Like, not only was he dragged into, like, being my chauffeur to drive me and my clients around that morning, but he also then had to go wedding band shopping.
Oh, my God.
So we walk into Tiffany, and they're like, oh, we're here for the wedding bands. And they're like, oh, upstairs. And like, I didn't even know this existed. Like, you go upstairs and it's like literally a floor for just like wedding,
like things. Engagement rings, like, wedding bands,
engagement rings. And like, I've never been someone who I don't like know what the fuck I want as my engagement ring. I just like don't think about it. So I think it's valuable if you like actually go look and try these on. And what happened was we're up there and there's like literally a 10.5 carat ring like on the wall.
No. It was the biggest ring we've ever seen. And we were like, obviously this must be so expensive.
And I'm looking at it and I'm like, Riley, like, look at this ring. And the sales associate is like, you like emerald cut? And I'm like, yeah, I think I do. And she's like, oh, like we have a lady coming in here later and we have so many like emerald rings set aside. Like, do you want to just try them on? I'll bring them out. And Gio and Ricky are like trying on their bands. I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, why not? So she brings all these emerald rings down. Then she goes, do you want to try the big one on?
No. The fact that usually these places, I feel like sometimes
they're like snooty.
They're like snooty. They're like assholes. They're like, oh, you can't afford this, you know? But like, she was like, yeah, have fun. Try it on. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool.
It was so fun. So she brought me all these rings to try on. And then I was like, can I try on this one and this one and this one? And like, I ended up trying on different stones. And now I'm kind of like, okay, I think I actually know what I want. Meanwhile, my boyfriend's sitting there like, what the fuck did I get myself roped into today? Like, bye. And the guy's like, here's my card. I'm like, oh my God, this is too much.
No. But the 10.5
I'm going to show them in the camera. I have to.
$1.5 million. It was
$1.5 million.
And it honestly looked sick on Kathy. Like it looked like it was hers. It was insane. I tried it on. It looked like I was wearing a fake ring because it's too big for me. It's too big for me.
Not pretending like it's mine.
Well, put the mic up.
Oh shit. Hold on.
No, it's actually the most massive ring ever. On me, it looked like I stole it from Chinatown. And on her, it was like perfect because it just looked so ridiculous on me. So 10 carats doesn't work for my little fingers, but
unfortunately for you.
I don't know, 10K would be sick, but it was really fun.
So yeah, it was 1.5.
Honestly, even I started trying on other engagement rings and I was like, whoa, I love this. But, you know.
So your homework is, if you're in a serious relationship, it could be fun to like go try on rings just to see like what you like, because I think it's kind of helpful to know.
Or maybe go alone.
Or maybe go
like,
literally go alone.
Like, don't like force your boyfriend to come with you, because like maybe that'll put pressure on him. Yeah. We were not trying to pressure Riley. We were genuinely like planning all week to go wedding band shopping. And since you were there, I was like, come. Like,
no, and also like we went to just like be supportive. Like I didn't expect this lady to be like, oh, we have a whole thing set aside for another lady. Try these on. It was just like coincidence. Yeah. But it ended up like being a really good experience. And honestly, like Riley even at the end was like, oh, actually, like this is kind of nice. Like I didn't know anything about any of this. So like, yeah. I would say like I was never the type of person to think like, oh, am I gonna like look for like my ring before? Not that I was actively looking for a ring, but just like trying them on to see like what different style looks like on my finger.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to do that. Yeah, and then I tried the emerald cut and I was like, shit, this looks nice. I was like, I actually like this. Like I didn't think it was for me, but I do. I love my oval, but like, I didn't think it was for me, and I was like, well, now, I'm like, upgrade. Yeah, I'm kidding.
So that was fun.
It was fun. Or like either maybe if you don't want to go alone, like maybe go with your best friend. Yeah. Like it's fun. Yeah. So yeah, I hope there was something of value for you guys in this episode to just figure out this part of our lives where people are getting engaged. And if not, hopefully it was just fun and you can start thinking of when you do get engaged if you are in a serious relationship, and keep these things in mind. That's just my experience, but you know, we'll talk about your experience.
One day. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Ciao, bye.
Ciao, bye.